Willkommen! My name is Sean Huggins and this is React with Hugs. Check out the new vlog linked in the description and let's take a look at today's comment of the day. Today's comment of the day comes from Oscillator 7298 and they say, nice to see we Germanized you a little bit. A little bit? I would say you guys Germanized me a lot a bit. I've been Germanized a lot without even really trying, just from living in Germany and all of my friends being German and stuff now. It's gonna happen, I guess. And I'm not complaining, obviously. I will forever be tied to Deutschland because of Isa, my German fiance. So, no matter where we are in the world, in this case, we are now in Thailand at the time of recording this, Germany will always be in my heart. At any rate, Oscillator, thank you for the comment, and let's hop into today's reaction. So, speaking of being Germanized, today I have a very interesting video here. 20 German words Americans use all the time and their real meaning. This is by Faili from Germany, and I'm very excited about this because obviously living in Germany, I've been learning German, but growing up in America, I was probably using German words my whole life without even maybe realizing it. And I'm curious to see what this list is all about, so let's hop straight into it, shall we? Los geht's!
You have definitely used these words before in English, maybe even on a daily basis, but did you know that they're actually German?
I did not.
Hallo, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Hallo.
My name is Felicia. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I have been living in Cincinnati, Ohio off and on since 2016.
Okay.
So a few weeks ago, I made a video about 20 English words that we use in German, and a lot of them
Whoa! Interesting. I think I need to check that video out too. Subscribe for that video as well. I'll be probably doing that one in the future.
actually have a completely different meaning in German than they do in English, like old-timer, just to give one example, which refers to an old person in English, but to German speakers, an old-timer is a vintage car. Check out the video to find out about the other 19 English words that we use differently in German. But today I'll talk about the opposite, basically, so about German words that are used in English. There aren't nearly as many German words in English as there are English words in German, but there are actually more than you would think. And a lot of them are words that people use all the time, but they don't really know that it's a German word. And even I wasn't really aware of how many German words are used in English. So for me, it was super surprising every time I first heard someone use one of those words. Like, they're just saying something in English and suddenly I'm like, wait, what? You just spoke German? So for today's video, I made a list of 20 German words that are used in English, and I just picked the ones that are either used a lot or that I just thought were funny or interesting.
Number 1.
Let's start with one of
kindergarten. Okay, this is one that I already knew. I don't think I knew this before living in Germany, but I definitely knew it by the time I met Isa. They have slightly different meanings, but we do say kindergarten, and we say it a little bit different, obviously, a little bit different accent, different dialect, but kindergarten is a staple in America for sure.
Of the most known ones, and that is kindergarten. In German, we pronounce it Kindergarten.
Kindergarten, 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 kindergarten. I think my German's getting worse.
And even though the word is used in a very similar way in the two languages, it's not 100% the same. In Germany, kindergarten isn't part of the school system, but it's more like a daycare. Kids can go there from the age of 3 up until they start first grade, but it's not mandatory for parents to send their kids to kindergarten, and there is no mandatory curriculum either. Some kids may practice math and writing in kindergarten, but it's not a class setting, and the focus is usually more on playing and activities like doing crafts, singing together, going on field trips and those kind of things, while in the US, kindergarten is the year before first grade, and it's part of the school system. That's why it's also called K to 12, kindergarten to 12th grade.
Yes.
So the kindergartens usually belong to a school and are a little more focused on academics. So same word, but different meaning in Germany and the US. And what I find funny is that the German concept of kindergarten is what Americans also call preschool sometimes, while Vorschule, the literal translation for preschool in German, basically stands for the American concept of kindergarten. So it's somewhat switched. Some German kindergartens do offer a Vorschule the year before first grade to prepare the kids a little academically.
Gesundheit. Yeah, a lot of people in America say Gesundheit as like a little bit of a fancy way to say God bless you when somebody sneezes. It's just like a little extra, but I feel like people definitely know that it's from Germany, and it's definitely not the norm, but it's like people say it in America to sound a little fancy, you know what I'm saying?
I had no clue that Americans used this German word before I came here, and the first time I heard it, it sounded so funny to me. Gesundheit is what we say for bless you in German, and Americans seem to use it that way too. Especially among younger people, I found that they usually use it in a more funny way, but it can also be just used with a normal tone. The word itself actually just means health in German, so whenever someone sneezes, we wish them health.
Oh,
just like Gesundheit.
Dude, this is such a good one. Kaputt. I didn't even think of this one. Dude, this video is awesome. Yeah, we say kaputt as well. Again, it's not so common, but if you're trying to be a little bit funny or maybe a little bit fancy and you want to say something is kaputt, that means that it's broken or destroyed basically in America. I don't think I would have known that this one is German before learning German though. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to remember now what I knew before starting to learn German. You know what I mean? It's all meshed together now, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have known that this is actually German until I learned German.
I didn't know that this word was used in English before I moved to the US. We spell it with 2 T's in Germany, but we pronounce it the same way, kaputt. And it basically has the same meaning in both languages. It means broken, damaged, or destroyed, as in my phone is kaputt, mein Handy ist kaputt. Or it can also mean exhausted, as in I went hiking for 8 hours today and I'm so kaputt. Ich bin heute 8 Stunden gewandert, ich bin total kaputt. And just like in German, when we say etwas geht kaputt, you also say something goes kaputt in English.
I'm not sure I've heard
Another
that
one which I love hearing in English is
Doppelganger is Deutsch? What? Dude! Okay, this is a really good word. First of all, such a fun word to say. Second of all, I still didn't know that this was German. Dude, this is awesome. This is a good one.
One which I love hearing in English is doppelganger, especially because it seems kind of funny to me that you would use a rather long German word that even has an umlaut. I mean, okay, in English it's usually written with just an A, but people could also just say look-alike or double in English. Why use doppelganger? Anyway, I think...
Because it's a fun word to say. Come on now, doppelganger, it's so fun.
I think it's fun, and I think I first found out about this when I watched the American show How I Met Your Mother in English as a teenager, because that's like a whole theme on that show to find all the main characters' doppelgangers. This one I just recently used in my video on alcohol culture in Germany and the US.
I'm trying to think what we use Stein for in English. I know what it is in German. In English, I'm trying to remember.
And I have to say that it still feels kind of weird to me every time I use this word in English, or even when I just hear it, because it actually has a completely different meaning in German. Bierstein, or just Stein in English, refers to a beer mug, traditionally made out of stoneware, but it can also refer to the more modern glass mugs, while in German, Stein means stone, and the beer mug is called Bierkrug. Some of my German viewers actually commented on my alcohol video and told me that in some parts of Rheinland-Pfalz, in the western part of Germany, people also use the word Stein when they refer to a liter of something. So they would say, ein Stein Bier bitte, 1 liter of beer please.
Dude, that's pretty cool. 1 stone of beer? That's awesome.
It seems to be a regional thing though. I had never heard about this before, and I'm curious if there is any connection to the English use of the word, but I couldn't really find anything about this, so let me know if you know more about it. The next one is Spiel, and even though this has a different meaning than the word does in German, I really like the English meaning because we don't really have a German equivalent for it. In English, Spiel is a kind of speech, especially one that is long and spoken quickly.
Oh, dude. Okay, yeah, this is another decently rare word in English. It's not so common. I forgot about this one too. Yeah, Spiel is like kind of hard to describe, I guess. I guess this definition is as close as you can get. But yeah, it's basically like a speech, I guess, or like a way of describing how someone's talking. Oh, dude. Oh man, I never put those two together. Spiel and Spiel. I know what it is in Deutsch, but I never connected the two English and German words. That's funny.
And is intended to persuade the person listening about something. So this is often used in sales situations, and for example, you could say something like, oh, they gave me the whole spiel about why their university is the best in the country. In German, Spiel, capitalized, simply means game, and spielen means to play.
Yes, I specifically like Videospiel spielen. Anyways. Stool. Okay, this one's easy. I know what this is in both languages. But I wonder if she has the hidden second meaning in English. Let's see.
This one is not exactly a loan word from the German language, but it does have Germanic origins, and I included it in this list because I personally think that it sounds exactly like the German word Stuhl. But it's actually a so-called false friend because it has a different meaning in the two languages. Stuhl in German is a chair, while Stuhl in English is what we call Hocker in German. Kind of.
Oh, you call it a Hocker. Okay, interesting. But this still isn't the secret second meaning of the word stool in English. Let's see if she touches on it.
Similar, but not quite the same thing.
Let's stop it right there. Stool in English also means caca, poop. It's like almost like a medical way, like a more fancy way, educated way of saying poop. So if somebody says they want to test your stool, make sure you know if they're talking about a chair or they're talking about your caca, because that's a big difference in my book. Anyways, let's continue.
Dachshund. When Americans first used this word with me, I had no clue what they were talking about because I wasn't familiar with the word, and I also couldn't tell that it was supposed to be a German word with the English pronunciation, but now I know that Dachshund can be used in German as well, but it's actually more common to call the dogs Dackel in German. Literally, this compound word consists of Dachs, badger, and Hund, dog. A badger dog, basically. And this is because the dogs were traditionally supposed to crawl into burrows and look for badgers.
Oh, cool. Wiener.
In English,
this word definitely has a different meaning in English. Let's see if she touches on it.
this can also be used to describe a Dachshund, wiener dog, but it can also refer to just a wiener sausage, or it's also often used instead of penis. In German, we say Wiener. The German W is pronounced like an English V, and it usually refers to the sausage. Wiener Würstchen would be the long version. It can also refer to a Wiener Schnitzel, which is also...
Hold on a second. I need to move my camera. Okay, let's continue.
...be used for a person from the Austrian city of Vienna, which is Wien in German. Wanderlust.
Wanderlust. Okay, I think this is pretty similar definitions in both languages, but obviously different accent, different dialect. Let's see.
This is kind of an old-fashioned German word that we pronounce Wanderlust, and it's literally the desire to wander, so it means you want to travel. The word was used a lot in the literature of the Romantic era, but you can also call this Reiselust or Fernweh in German, which the last one is also an interesting word because it's kind of like the opposite of Heimweh, which is homesickness. So Fernweh pretty much means far sickness.
Interesting.
This one is very similar to the German.
Yeah, this one is similar. Angst and angst.
One, but it's not 100% the same. Angst, capitalized in German and with the German A,
Yeah.
basically just means fear. And angst in English is also related to fear, but it describes a broader feeling of anxiety and apprehension. It's often used in connection with teenagers. Teenage angst is what a lot of young people experience throughout puberty, and you can also say you're feeling angsty in English. So in English it describes more of a general feeling, whereas in German, Angst haben means to be scared of something, and that's usually something a little more specific, like you're scared of the
Okay, so not an exact translation. Similar, but not exact. Good to know.
spider. The English meaning of angst doesn't have a good translation in German, but it could be translated with something like Existenzangst or innere Unruhe or Angstzustände.
Bro, those words.
Kitsch is a concept that's really hard to explain actually, but according to the dictionary, it describes art, decorative objects, or design considered by many people to be ugly, without style, or false, but enjoyed by many other people, often because they are funny. So you could say, his home is full of 1950s kitsch. It means the same thing in German and in English, and it's also pronounced the same. There's also the English
I have literally never heard that word. I thought she was talking about the kitchen or something. I've never heard that word in English before. Wow, I'm learning German and English on this video. This is great.
adjective kitschy, which is kitschig in German. Blitzkrieg. This is a military term and
Okay, I knew this one before learning German because I watched so many World War II documentaries, and in America, this is how historians describe the type of warfare that World War II era German army was using to fight their wars and stuff. So yeah, this is like a war term, but it's more of like an academic term in America to describe the type of warfare that the World War II German army was conducting, I guess is the best way to describe it. Let's continue.
describes a strategy of warfare that includes short and fast attacks. The term is often used in connection with World War II, but it actually had been used way before that. We pronounce it Blitzkrieg in German, and it literally translates to lightning war, because Blitz is lightning and Krieg is war. It's used the same way in both languages, and they even adapted the word blitz as a tactic in American football.
Yeah.
This seems to be a very popular word in the US. I've been asked about this so many times.
What is this?
And what makes it so special is that this concept doesn't even really exist in the English language, which is why there isn't an English word to describe it, which is probably quite a strong statement about the German culture.
Okay, hold on a second. So this word cannot be described in English, but it's used in America. But also, I very well may have never heard of this word. I'm so confused. Let's just continue. I don't understand what this word even is or what's going on with it. Let's just continue and see.
Schadenfreude consists of Schaden, which means damage or harm, and Freude, which means joy. So this is the joy that you feel when someone else gets harmed or fails. So not very nice.
Oh wow, okay, that is a very fun word, and I definitely don't know anything like that in English. I've also never heard that word being used in America. I don't think that this word should probably have been on this list. Out of the 300 million people that are in America, I'm sure that some people have used this word before, but it is far and beyond more uncommon than any of these other words on the list so far. So yeah, I don't know if this one should have been on the list, but at any rate, let's continue.
All sports fans should know this one.
For us, foosball is the tabletop soccer game, the one with the spinning arms. Yeah, that's foosball for us.
Fußball in German means soccer, or football in British English. Foosball in English refers to the bar game, which we usually call Kicker, or Tischfußball in German.
Yeah.
This is another concept that doesn't have
Yeah, okay, we do use Zeitgeist in English. This is another good one. Wow, I definitely would not have known that this is German. This is a great list. This is very fascinating to me.
Its own English translation, just like Schadenfreude, and therefore the German word is used in English and some other languages too. Americans usually say Zeitgeist. In German we pronounce it Zeitgeist, and this consists of the word Zeit, which means time, and Geist, which means spirit. So Zeitgeist is the spirit of the time, which...
Yeah, we use the same definition in English for this one. This is another good one. This is another banger.
Which describes what's going on culturally, religiously, and intellectually during a certain time period. Woodstock was part of the 1960s Zeitgeist, for example. And in English, they even made it an adjective, which we don't even have in German, Zeitgeisty. Schnaps. This one I also...
Schnapps is German. I didn't know that either. I feel like this is a very universal word as well. So good job, Germany. You created a universal word, a standard for describing alcohol.
Also mentioned in my video on alcohol culture. In German, we spell it like this and say Schnaps, and it means hard liquor. In English, it's mostly used as part of the name of certain liquors like peppermint schnapps or peach schnapps. Wunderkind in English, Wunderkind in German, and this literally translates to miracle child. Wunder is miracle, Kind is child.
Right.
So it describes a person that is very clever or talented and becomes successful at a young age. One of the most common examples for a Wunderkind is Mozart.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard this used in English, or in America, I guess I should say. But I think that usually in America, people would say savant or genius, kid genius, something like that. I've never heard Wunderkind in America. But then again, maybe it's because I'm not around too many Wunderkinds. Who knows? But personally, I never heard this in America. Let's continue.
Poltergeist. This looks a little bit similar to Zeitgeist.
Another good one.
Poltern means to clatter, and Geist means ghost or spirit, and this particularly describes a ghost that makes noises in the house and moves objects. Whether you believe in that or not is a different story. And last but not least, the final word on my list is Schmutz. This one is pronounced and used the same way in both languages, and it means dirt. And schmutzy in English or schmutzig in German means dirty.
Oh, maybe my family and friends just don't use schmutzy. I haven't heard that one, but I guess it exists.
So this was my list of 20 German words that are used in English, and there are many, many more, of course, especially regarding food, like pretzel, bratwurst, or Hefeweizen, just to name a few examples.
Ooh, that was a very interesting list. Yeah, a lot of these I've been hearing my whole life, and I didn't even know that they were German the whole time. That's really interesting to me. I'm curious what else is out there, though. I think I need to see the other video, English words that are used in Germany, or maybe if you guys know any German words that are used in America, you can put them in the comments below. At any rate, though, that's all the time that I have for today. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. We got new videos every single day. Check the links in the description for all of my other social media, including my vlog channel. Thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.